Let me take you on a journey through 9 simple habits that completely changed my life in just 1 week. Yes, only 7 days. It might sound unbelievable, but I promise these aren't your usual tips you've seen all over the internet. These are real-life changes I made myself. Nothing fancy or impossible, just honest habits that I added to my daily routine. I went through the ups and downs, faced some challenges, and came out feeling like a new person. I'm so excited to tell you about them because they made a big difference in my life, and I believe they can help you too. Whether you want to feel more focused, improve your mood, or just bring a little more peace into your everyday life, these habits can make that happen. So, go ahead and grab your favorite beverage, find a comfy spot, and let's get started. I promise you, this is worth your time. These habits aren't just ideas, they're real steps you can take right away. Plus, I'll be sharing my own personal stories so you can see exactly how they helped me. But before we do, I would like you to subscribe to the channel as it helps us tremendously. Show your appreciation by liking this video and leaving a heartfelt comment. We value your words deeply. Ready? Let's jump in. The first habit that made a big difference for me was getting up early. To be honest, I was never someone who liked mornings. My bed felt way too cozy, and I used to hit the snooze button again and again. Most mornings were a mess. I'd be rushing around and always felt like I was behind. But I decided to try waking up early, and it honestly changed everything. I began by setting my alarm for 5 a.m. The first couple of days were tough. I felt super sleepy and wondered if I was making a mistake. But I kept going, and by the 3rd day, something shifted. I noticed how quiet the world was early in the morning. There was a peaceful feeling in the air, and I started to enjoy that calm time before everything got busy. With those extra morning hours, I was able to do things I always said I didn't have time for. I'd do a bit of light movement, just some stretching or a quick jog outside. It helped wake up my body and made me feel ready for the day. I also started to spend a few quiet minutes meditating or thinking about what I wanted my day to look like. That small moment of calm really helped me feel more focused and less overwhelmed. Another great thing about waking up early was that I didn't feel like I was in a rush anymore. I could enjoy a proper breakfast, drink my coffee slowly, and actually plan my day instead of just reacting to it. It gave my day a smooth and peaceful start. One special memory I have is the morning I watched the sunrise from my balcony. As the sky turned different colors and everything around me stayed still, I felt so thankful. That moment reminded me how beautiful the world can be when we slow down and pay attention. Now, I get that waking up early might not be for everyone, but I really think it's worth trying, just for 1 week. Start small by waking up 15 minutes earlier than usual and slowly build from there. You might be surprised by how different your days feel. It's not only about having more time, it's about using those early hours to start your day with purpose, calm, and clarity. Let's talk about something that really changed my life: daily exercise. I'll be honest with you, I didn't used to be someone who enjoyed working out. In fact, I would come up with every excuse to skip it. I'm too tired. I've got no time, or I'll do it tomorrow. Sound familiar? But one day, I had enough of feeling lazy and low. I promised myself I'd move my body every single day for a week, and that decision made a huge difference. I didn't start with anything crazy, just 20 minutes a day. Some days I did yoga, other days I went for a jog or lifted light weights. I kept changing things up so I wouldn't get bored or give up. At first, it was hard. My body ached, and I felt really tired. but I reminded myself why I was doing it, to feel better inside and out. And by the fourth day, something shifted. I woke up feeling more alive, happier, and not so grumpy. I realized those 20 minutes weren't just about getting fit. They were my time to focus on myself, let go of stress, and feel good. One morning, I put on my running shoes and went for a jog. The air was fresh, the sky was clear, and for the first time in a while, I felt totally free. Just me, the road, and my thoughts. That peaceful feeling stayed with me all day. My body felt stronger, I stood taller, and I noticed little changes in how I looked. But the biggest change? My mindset. I no longer saw exercise as something I had to do. It became something I wanted to do. It turned into my personal time to reset and feel grounded. Another cool thing was trying yoga. At first, I didn't think I'd like it. I thought I wasn't flexible enough and it might be boring. But after a few sessions, I really started enjoying it. Yoga taught me how to breathe deeply, stay in the moment, and truly listen to my body. It helped me feel calm and focused, not just physically, but emotionally too. Daily movement showed me how caring for your body can brighten your mood and make life feel lighter. You don't need to be perfect or go all out. Just find something that makes you feel good. Dance, walk, stretch, anything that gets you moving. Start with a few minutes each day. You'll be amazed at how even the smallest effort can change your whole day, and maybe even your life. Another habit that really helped me was clearing up my space. You might not think your surroundings affect you that much, but trust me, they do. I didn't even realize how much stress I was carrying just by having a messy room, piles of clothes, or cluttered shelves. So I made it a goal to tidy up a little bit every day for a week. I started with just one small area, my desk. It was always covered with papers, cords, and random things I didn't need. I spent 15 minutes sorting through it, throwing out trash, and putting things in their right places. The next day, I did the same with my closet, then my kitchen, and so on. I didn't try to do everything at once. I just focused on one part at a time. What I noticed almost immediately was how much lighter I felt. I wasn't spending time looking for lost items anymore, and my mind felt calmer in a clean space. One moment I'll never forget was when I walked into my bedroom after I'd made my bed and cleaned everything. It felt like stepping into a peaceful hotel room. I even slept better that night. Decluttering also helped me realize how much stuff I had that I didn't even use. I donated some things, sold a few items, and just let go of what didn't bring me joy. Having less stuff made me appreciate the things I kept even more. It became easier to focus, easier to breathe, and honestly, it gave me more pride in my space. If you're feeling overwhelmed, start with just one drawer or one corner of a room. You don't have to do it all at once. Small steps really do add up. A clean space can lead to a clearer mind, and that's a powerful shift. Finally, the habit that made a big impact on my week was reading a little bit each day. I used to tell myself I didn't have time to read, but really, I just wasn't making it a priority. I'd scroll on my phone for hours, but I couldn't spare 15 minutes for a book. That realization hit me hard. So I challenged myself. No matter how busy the day got, I would read for at least 10 to 20 minutes. I picked a book that inspired me and made me feel good, not something too complicated or heavy. And you know what? It became something I looked forward to. One night, I got so into the story that I lost track of time and read for over an hour. I hadn't felt that connected to a book in years. It was like I had opened a door to another world. and it was exactly the break I needed from everyday stress. Reading helped me slow down, sparked my imagination, and gave my brain something refreshing to think about. It wasn't just about the stories either. I learned new things, found fresh ideas, and even picked up some helpful tips that I could use in my own life. It reminded me how powerful words can be. Plus, it helped me reduce screen time without even trying, because I was actually excited to read instead of scroll. If you've fallen out of the habit of reading, try picking up a book you've been curious about. Keep it somewhere easy to reach, on your nightstand, in your bag, or next to your coffee cup. Even a few pages a day can shift your mood, inspire your thinking, and help you unwind in the best way. Now let's talk about journaling. I used to think journaling was only for people who had lots of free time or loved writing deep thoughts. Honestly, I didn't think it was for me. Life felt too busy, and I wasn't sure I had anything to say. But 1 week of journaling every night completely changed how I saw it. And now it's a big part of how I grow and take care of myself. I kept it super simple, just 10 minutes before bed. I picked up a plain notebook and a pen I liked. No fancy tools, no pressure to make it neat or special, just me writing down whatever was on my mind. The first night, I didn't know where to begin, but I started by writing about my day, what made me smile, what stressed me out, and what I learned. As I kept going, I began writing more deeply. I talked about my hopes, my worries, my goals, and even things I was scared to say out loud. It felt like I was having a real talk with myself, and that's when the magic began. I started noticing patterns in how I thought and felt. I realized some problems weren't even mine to carry, while others gave me a chance to grow and change. One night, I wrote about a tough day at work. Just writing it down helped me understand my emotions better. I could see clearly what went wrong, how it made me feel, and what I could try next time. That little bit of reflection gave me peace and a sense of control. Another thing I loved was keeping track of my wins, big or small. I'd write down when something went well or when I made progress, even in tiny steps. Reading those old entries later made me feel proud and reminded me how far I'd come. I remember writing about a work presentation I was nervous about and how I prepared for it. Seeing the whole journey written down was super encouraging. I also started writing 3 things I was thankful for each day. It was simple, but it helped me stop focusing on what I didn't have and instead notice the good things around me. I'll never forget the day I wrote about a stranger helping me with my groceries. That moment stayed with me, and writing about it made me feel even more grateful and made me want to do something kind for someone else too. Journaling helped me understand myself better. It gave me a safe space to be honest, to dream, to let go of stress, and to learn from my own experiences. It became my quiet time, like a soft conversation with my soul. If you've never tried it, I really think you should. Don't worry about being a perfect writer or having big thoughts. Just let the words flow. Talk about your day, your feelings, your dreams, or anything that comes to mind. You might be surprised at how calming and healing it can be. It's not about how fancy your writing is, it's about how it makes you feel. Let's talk about eating with focus. This one made a big difference for me. Like many people, I used to eat quickly, often while doing something else, like checking my phone or working on my laptop. I didn't pay attention to what I was eating or how much. My meals felt rushed, and I didn't enjoy them. But one day, I decided to try eating with more care for just a week, and it changed everything. Eating mindfully means really noticing the whole experience of eating. That includes the taste, smell, texture, and even the sound of your food. It also means listening to how your body feels before, during, and after you eat. I made a promise to myself: no more distractions during meals. I set up a nice space at the table, put away my phone, turned off the TV, and closed my laptop. At first, it felt odd to sit and eat in silence, but very quickly it became something I looked forward to. I began every meal with a few slow, deep breaths to bring myself into the moment. One of the first things I noticed was that food tasted better. I took time to really chew and enjoy each bite. Foods I had eaten for years suddenly had flavors I had never noticed before. For instance, crunchy veggies and juicy fruits felt fresher and sweeter. It was like I was eating with new senses. I also felt more full after meals. Because I was eating slowly and paying attention, I gave my body time to say, "That's enough." Before, I would eat fast and end up too full. Now I eat less, but feel more satisfied. I still remember eating a simple bowl of oatmeal one morning. Normally, I'd finish it in a minute without thinking. But this time, I slowed down, tasted the creamy oats and the light sweetness of honey, and felt grateful. That small moment made the rest of my day brighter. Another thing I began to notice was how different foods made me feel. Processed, heavy meals left me tired and uncomfortable. Fresh and natural foods made me feel light and full of energy. Without forcing myself, I started choosing healthier foods more often. I also became more aware of emotional eating. I saw that sometimes I reached for snacks, not because I was hungry, but because I was bored, stressed, or sad. Mindful eating helped me pause and ask myself what I really needed. Maybe it was rest, a chat with a friend, or just a few deep breaths, not chips or cookies. One night, after dinner, I felt a strong urge to eat something sweet. Instead of rushing to grab dessert, I stopped and asked myself if I was actually hungry. I realized I wasn't. I just wanted a reward after a busy day. So instead, I made a warm cup of tea. It was a small win that showed how powerful mindful eating can be. Bringing mindful eating into my life changed how I see food. It helped me eat better, feel better, and enjoy meals more. Even after that first week, I kept going. If you want to try it, start small, maybe with just one meal a day. Sit down, turn off distractions, breathe deeply, and pay close attention to your food. Notice the taste, how it feels, and how your body reacts. You might be surprised by how this simple habit can improve your life and help you connect better with your body and your meals. Now, let's talk about screen time. This habit was hard for me, and maybe it is for you too. We live in a world full of phones, computers, and TVs. It's so easy to spend hours watching videos, scrolling through social media, or checking messages. But I realized that all this screen time was making me feel tired, anxious, and less focused. It was even messing up my sleep. So, I decided to make a change. I gave myself a limit, no more than 1 hour a day on screens that weren't for work. That meant no endless scrolling on Instagram, no long YouTube sessions, and no watching shows late into the night. It was hard at first because I had gotten used to filling every little break with screen time. But I knew something had to change. Very quickly, I noticed I had a lot more time in my day. I didn't realize how many hours I had been losing to screens. With that extra time, I went back to things I used to love, like reading, sketching, and trying out new recipes in the kitchen. One evening, instead of turning on the TV after dinner, I went for a walk in the park. the fresh air, the sounds of birds, and just walking without a goal felt amazing. It woke me up and gave me peace at the same time. That simple walk became something I started doing every day. Another big improvement was in my sleep. I used to take my phone to bed and scroll until I felt tired, but that habit kept my brain too active, and I'd end up tossing and turning. So I made a new rule: no screens before bed. Instead, I started reading real books, meditating, or thinking quietly about my day. I began falling asleep faster and waking up with more energy. In the end, cutting back on screen time helped me feel better in many ways. I got more rest, found more joy in small things, and had more time for activities that brought me peace and happiness. If you're thinking about trying this, start by setting a daily time limit and creating screen-free moments, especially in the evening. You might be surprised how much more relaxed and focused you feel when you spend less time staring at a screen. I started to feel better mentally too. Without always checking the news, scrolling through social media, or getting distracted by my phone, I felt calmer and more in the moment. I could listen better during conversations, pay more attention to the people around me, and really take part in what I was doing. It was like my mind had cleared up, and I could enjoy life in a new, clearer way. One day that really stood out to me was when I spent the whole afternoon at a local cafe with just a notebook and a pen. I wrote down my thoughts, made a few plans, and even did a bit of sketching. That quiet time, with no buzzing phones or alerts, felt so peaceful and productive. I felt more in touch with myself and my surroundings, something I didn't get when I was always on my screen. Of course, I still had moments when I wanted to check my phone without even thinking, but each time I caught myself, I gently reminded myself of how good I'd been feeling and chose to do something more meaningful instead. Cutting back on screen time doesn't mean you have to stop using technology completely. It's more about finding a better balance and choosing how you want to spend your time. If you're feeling stressed or disconnected, why not try cutting back a little on screen time? Start small, maybe just 1 hour less each day, and use that time to connect with yourself, with the people around you, or simply enjoy your surroundings. You might be surprised by how much more alive and connected you feel when you're not glued to a screen. And that brings us to the end of our journey through the 7 habits that really made a difference in my life in just 1 week. It's been amazing to try these habits, and even better to share them with you. I truly believe that these small changes can help anyone, just like they helped me. If any of these habits spoke to you, I really hope you give them a try. Start with just one and see how it fits into your life. Tweak it if you need to. This isn't about doing things perfectly. It's about making small steps that lead to real change over time. I'd love to know what you think, so feel free to drop a comment below. Let me know which habit you're thinking of starting, or ask any questions you have. This community grows through your thoughts and stories, so don't be shy. And if you found this video helpful, please like it, subscribe, and tap that bell so you don't miss anything we share in the future. There's so much more coming your way. Thanks a ton for watching. Just remember, tiny steps can lead to big changes. Keep moving forward, keep learning, and let's turn everyday moments into chances for self-growth. See you in the next video. Until next time.